I have been getting tons and tons of messages and DMs through LinkedIn and email to any and all roles that I am fortunate and blessed to have, whether I'm the CEO of Hetherington Group, Osmosis, the founder of the OSINT Academy, the lady on the stage behind the podium, all the different roles that I get to play. And it's because of you and appreciative of you. So I thought I would take some time at the end of every week to address some of the questions that I get and see if I can help you on your journey transitioning into the open source intelligence space or understanding more about investigations or due diligence or any of the good ponderable questions that come in. We have everyone writing me from senior suite executives who are really looking to move into a role where they're a board member, advising and helping a company figure out their 5-year trajectory, or a student who, like I met yesterday, is just coming into their own shoes, never mind the market, picking their college programs, what minor should I take, you know, who should I appeal to, what group should I have behind me? How do I get myself there? So I'm going to take some of the questions that come straight in from LinkedIn, and you could DM me there. I won't be addressing people by name or talking about anything specifically that will identify anyone. Of course, I value your privacy, and integrity is what guides everything here at the Hetherington Group. Yet, I will share what your concern or issue is. So, in this case, I want to get right to it. I'm going to call this little chat Ask Cynthia. And again, I'm going to encourage you to drop messages to me in a DM. I should always keep this brief. My motto, be brief, be brilliant, be gone, and informative. So here I'm going to answer this question. One of the open source intelligence analysts and investigators wrote me that she recently lost her job due to funding cuts. This is a thing that's really happening around a lot of places now. Her background is largely in human rights and atrocity crime investigations. She's good at a lot of things in writing her resume and her CV. However, she's wondering if there's something more that she could do to help her move into a more traditional open source intelligence field. She writes that she has all the necessary skills, but she worries that her background may scare off some, or they might see her as too much of a bleeding heart or something. Do I have any advice on how to transition or to overcome this? Would I hire someone with a different background but who has the skills and experience? So I'm going to answer this question honestly. I'm going to get right into it. And if it doesn't feel comfortable, it's not my goal here. My goal is to try to help, be honest and aware of what the conditions are that you're feeling. I took a look at this professional's background, and the bleeding heart is probably tied directly to the fact that 90%, if not more, of their work in the last 15 years has been with nonprofits or organizations that are working towards uh, larger world problems and conditions. Things that deal with war crimes, atrocities is a word that was used in the question and probably applies to this person's skill set. That's a very nuanced and unique group. So if you're trying to be an OSINT investigator or an OSINT intelligence operator, you really need to know what the market wants. You have to understand that your skills, though, research is research is research, still needs to apply to the person who's doing the job review and hunting for the new candidate. I wrote back that I don't see this person as a bleeding heart. Please stop taking what people are saying in the news or media and applying it to your condition. Yes, I know it hurts. I know that you feel what they say is ugly or misunderstood. But don't assume that the person who's hiring is looking at you saying, well, that's a bleeding heart. I'm not going to hire you. If people are doing the hiring, it means they're in a position of power, which means that they have come past many opinions and reviews and get down to the meat of what a person has to offer. We don't care about what your opinions are. We care about what your outcome is. We want employees who are dedicated to the process, the work, integrity, and putting a good product out. No, I didn't see a bleeding heart there. What I saw was a rolling stone. In the last 10 years of this person's application, there must be about 12 different 2 month and 3 month, whether it was contract, hybrid, or unpaying positions, doing great works, with Myanmar and Taipei and all these different countries that I see on the LinkedIn profile. But it's too much noise. And as a hiring professional, I'm looking at 14 different resumes of really qualified people. If your LinkedIn profile is overwhelmingly volunteer organizations or very, well-hearted, but maybe distracting to what is your OSINT skill set, I'm going to gloss over you. And that's the hard truth here. Being an OSINT analyst means following, in my opinion, the crawl method. Communicate, research, analyze, write, and listen. When you are doing the C and the L, which is the most important thing you could bring to any new employer, you must communicate and listen. Do you communicate what your skill set is clearly, upfront, and in the face of what position you are trying to obtain, what problem you are trying to solve? And are you going to listen to what the response is and change what your online profile looks like? May I suggest that you do not hide or squash what all of your volunteer efforts have been or your short-term projects, how noble they are. Put them down in community work or volunteer work and highlight those in that area where it's probably more appropriate. I hope this helps. I hope that you guys all think, hey, why don't I go ahead and ask Cynthia a question? And comments and criticisms are welcome back. I've only grown to, again, the community that I work and serve, and I appreciate every one of you. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I look forward to our next, Ask Cynthia.